Hi, xiaouiris here. I'm a choreographer and dancer, and today I'm going to be reacting to SB19 WYAT dance rehearsal video. By the way, someone requested Ken SB19 dance practice. I typed it in. It just came up with like a 12-second short. That can't be what you want me to react to, right? If if there's something specific. I know sometimes YouTube will delete the comments if you leave a link, but if you can leave a link or be a little bit more specific, like the title for me to type in, that would be really helpful because I did have a look because I did want to see like something solo from him, but yeah, it was just YouTube shorts that were coming up, like no concrete videos. So just let me know about that. Anyway, on to the video. It's an interesting starting because there's an obvious beat that you hear and then there's a click, and sometimes they would hit the click and sometimes they would ignore the click and hit the beat. So it's like a shift of pace, moving from one thing to another thing, one thing to another thing. I think that's what's kind of bringing the audience in because you're seeing a lot more beats being hit than there should be. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll show you what I mean. So here it's got the clicks, which is keeping it sharp when it needs to be. When it forgets the clicks and it moves on to the basic beat that you're hearing, there's a lot more fluidity. So usually what that does in dance is if you want to capture the audience straight away and you want them to watch the routine, you kind of work off of two beats. You kind of interchange between them both and change the pace slightly because it shows. You don't know that it shows, but I'm telling you now, subconsciously in your mind, you're going to hear a build up. So you can hear a build up. So you either know that it's going to get to the chorus and they're really going to dance, or it's going to get to the chorus and they're really going to slow it down so that you can see really distinct movements, but there's a build up. So I can see that there's a build up before I can hear it. I think you'll be able to hear it. Well, you will because you know the song. But for someone who doesn't know this, they can see just by the difference in the pacing that there's a build up. So everything in dance is deliberate. For me, that felt deliberate. The choreographer did that deliberately to signify build up in the choreography. See how the choreography's really picked up in this bit? Let's not waste our time and try to reconnect the lines. Oh yeah, I miss getting electrified when I look in your eyes. Oh baby, where you at? There's no room within this music. Go sign off your heartbeat in it. I'm alone, yeah. So sad, will I ever get connected? 'Cause you're already embedded in my heart and soul, yeah. There's a really good drum in that chorus. I really hope they hit it at some point where it goes do 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 do, and then it moves on to the next bit do 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 do. That'd be do 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 do. I'm hoping at some turn in the chorus that they hit that because that's a very distinct drum.
no matter what the weather. Bound forever. This actually can never make us falter, cause we got each other. No way, Jose. I've been waiting all day for you to come and play. Don't tell me where you are. Let's not waste our time and try to reconnect the light. Oh yeah, I miss getting electrified back when you were in my life. Oh baby, let's go grooving to this music. Oh, I can feel all your heartbeat in the zone. Yeah, now that we got reconnected, we'll forever be embedded in our hearts and souls. Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't want to pause it. I've been looking at their feet quite a lot. There's a thing in especially street choreography where you, because you're constantly twisting and twirling and moving around, you need to have grounding on your feet, and the only way that you can do it is pull your legs wide apart. That's why it's more of a masculine energy dance, because feminine energy, it's not natural for a female to have her legs really wide apart, but they do it anyway if they want to be grounded and cemented on the floor. Otherwise you do lose your balance. It doesn't matter how trained of a dancer you are, it's very easy to lose your balance. So it's just a technique that dancers use to get back on their feet. But I've noticed here with their feet that when they're twirling around and they're moving and they're doing all of these kind of dramatic choreography, if you like, when they land back on their feet, they don't have that stance. So they're challenged. They're challenged to come back on their feet, even though they don't have the control to just station themselves. They haven't been given that choreography where they're like, okay, come back around and then pull your legs apart so that you can land on your feet. They're like, no, I want you to land one foot in front of the other, and that creates a wobble. Or I want you to move your left foot over there but keep your right foot straight on the ground. That creates a wobble. And some of them, the one with the red hoodie wobbled slightly once, but who cares, because this is very difficult to do. And the fact that they have been continuously, from the segment I've just watched with their feet, continuously being told not to land on their feet is such an amazing thing. Like, you can train a dancer to be that much more controlled with their body without having to land in a stance, so that they can cement themselves on the floor and avoid wobble. The only reason street dancers do it is because they don't want to trip. They don't want to fall. They don't want to stumble. You want to look like you're in control. But they've been given choreography where it can dictate that they're not in control, yet they have remained as balanced as they possibly can. It's really interesting for me as a street choreographer to see this being done so much. Like, here and there in the choreography, fine, but I've literally just watched about 30 seconds of it where they were just working so hard to keep themselves balanced and cemented on the ground. So that was amazing. I hope that made sense. Oh, what an ending! What an ending! Look at their formation. See what I mean about their feet, though? It's their cross legs. Cross legs creates tipping. Balance is legs apart like that. That's why Michael Jackson was so in the dancing world. I mean, you don't have to be a dancer to recognize that he's great, but from a dancer's standpoint, the way that he lands on his feet is ridiculous because he's supposed to wobble and he doesn't. So yeah, that's a little dance knowledge for you. Anyway, yeah, let me know about Ken because I got really confused when trying to look for his dance practice. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, everyone.